Good day to you. It's Monday, May 5th, 2025. This is Galactic bringing you the secrets of the universe. Have been doing so for 3 years and over 900 videos. Now over here, you'll see my channel got 800 views in the last lunar month. And you can see that towards the right-hand side of the graph, it's going up. That is largely because I was offline for 3 whole weeks. For the first time in 3 years, I actually had no internet connection, and this graph partially reflects the fact that I began uploading again just a short time ago. Now what's happening now at Galactic? I'm about to produce a world-changing paper. That's a fond hope, but I know what I got, mate, and I'm just sharing it as is required of a true scientist. So I have to write a paper. I've been promising to do so for over a year. But we're also going to live stream, which is my fondest hope. The paper is about tied with that goal, but I'm now about to achieve both goals. After 3 years of being on a discovery vector due to my discovery of a new number system. Now today, I'm going to show you I have this new notebook. There's what I gave it the title, Null und Dual. I showed this to someone at the coffee shop this morning. He looked at it and puzzled out. He said 0, 1, 2. That's exactly right. Today, we're going to go over this one-page outline that I wrote at the coffee shop, which you can take a snapshot of this if you want, but I will have this available in another form. I'm just going to close in on this so you can see. There's quite a bit there. All right, I'm going to read this, so don't worry about if you saw it or not. A lot of people I notice are using their cell phones as their primary means of using YouTube, which is, of course, a modern phenomenon. You know, a handheld supercomputer, you can't resist using that. I think we've all seen that. Everybody's addicted to them. Well, that serves the side of good as well as whatever else there is besides good, and I don't make any comments there. We are now prepared to turn attention to numbers. Now, what do I mean by that? Where are we going? We're going to define what a number is right now to begin a geometric sequence which will unlock the quantum paradox and give us what we actually want in this series. We'll avoid the quantum paradox, but it is involved. We're going to get the true definition of a supermassive black hole. We are currently in a series on BB and BH, which are my, I think, very welcome abbreviations for two nonsensical theories. One of them we just dispensed with, finally, the BB, which you can use the definite article for the BB because there's only one of them, the origin of the universe. And we're done with that subject. And now we're going to turn our attention to a related phenomenon. You can't really say that BB is a phenomenon because it's a non-phenomenological construct. It was a theory, but it no longer qualifies even as a theory. So there is no BB. And what's the reason? That's what I imparted to you, some useful information that you can use in your future course in science. The way you can refute the BB is that it's based on a singularity. And that's the end of that goddamned fucking theory! So now we're going to turn our attention. I need some medicine. Give me just a moment. This is from Australia. A source of medicinal fluids and Barbies with shrimps, which I very much enjoy. So I like the Australians. They seem to like me too. Who wouldn't? We're discussing the truth. We're all in this together. We certainly need the truth. Can we get it from science? You're tuned in to Galactic. What is a number? Why would I begin with a number when we're talking about the supermassive black hole, which I've mercifully renamed BH because it's an unqualified and unqualifiable theory? That what you've been told about the black hole, the supermassive black hole, what is that thing? Well, you've been lied to. Systematically lied to, just as with the BB. So we're getting into that, and I always like to throw in, because this is now a religious station, I'm an Islam Christian. So I will give you the side that you don't like, that you don't want, you don't think you need. You're going to hear it anyway. What we want is to understand the universe, because consciousness can be defined as the faculty imprinted into us by DNA by which we understand the structure of the universe, and we're capable of doing that. It's imperative to do that. You can't call it religion, but it's definitely religious, because we don't give a fuck about the universe. What we care about are the answers to the questions we need as humans while we're still alive. The collective effort went off rails long ago, but that does not affect individuals directly. You are still required to understand the universe because you're blueprinted to listen to wisdom. Where are you going to get wisdom? The famous adage, where is wisdom to be found? That's in the book of Job, which the Islam people recognize. It's one reason I'm an Islam person. They recognize the wisdom books. They know who Job is. They know who David is. They even know who Kohelet is. And Shlomo, of course they know. They know the Shir HaShirim, which I taught in Kiev over a span of 2 semesters. The second semester was far more packed than the first one, because a prophet is never welcome in his own country. I'm back in my own country. I still love it here. But when you grow up, you learn to distinguish between your friends and just people. Okay? So you're here because you enjoy learning wisdom from the universe. And if you're here for any reason other than that, like you just want to be entertained so you can argue with people for the rest of your life to no avail in your own life or anyone else's, you can leave any time. But I offer this for free. I don't solicit money. There's no Patreon. There's no Bitcoin here. I'm getting ready to go to live stream, and I'm getting ready, like within a day or two, to go live. So a number is an abstraction. Why would we begin with numbers? I'll show you. It's because of the singularity that defines BB and BH. I've renamed BH to Panther, because that has to do with the Quasar Galaxy series. And a supermassive black hole is misnamed. I give it a new name, for the wise. It's the Panther. And there is the couching panther, there is the leaping panther. The panther does not have a singularity, but your mathematicians say that it does. And so they think it inverts at the singularity because that's linear 0. Is that a number? In the same general sense of a letter, primarily in the sense of not being a thing, a number is very much like a letter. That is, it's intangible. It's not an atom. It's not a photon. It's not a force. It's not a quantity. Well, let's pause there at quantity. What is a number? First of all, it is an abstraction. But that's not very good yet, is it? A lot of things are abstractions. It has transpired in the historical development of mathematics, which has assumed a new name, or more than one name. You could say number theory, and you may have heard that term. It is at the top of the list now, or it was until very recently. Number theory has been discussed for centuries. In the historical development of number theory, which you and I know as basically the definition of mathematics, that would be number theory. The definition of mathematics. Well, if it's number theory and mathematics, what is a number? Nobody has ever quite gotten that until very recently. We're going to talk about that because the singularity is a mathematical construction. Did you know that? A lot of you PhDs and Nobel Prize winners out there listening to me will know that. Well, you need to sit down and cross your legs with the children, the high school students, the novices, the newbies. You're among them now. You're at Anagalactic. You're going to learn the truth. What is a number? In the historical development of number theory, as I just outlined, so you'll know what we're talking about, the definition of a number has never been achieved, although very recently, finally, after 2,500 years, a man named John Horton Conway, one of my teachers, he died of the COVID virus in 2020, a very great loss, one of the greatest mathematicians of all time, probably the last polymath, as I have stated. The definition of a number was only achieved by John Horton Conway. Did he deserve a Nobel Prize? Don't make me sneeze. In fact, according to my rather rigorous research, it took about 2,400 years to arrive at anything like a robust or otherwise reasonable, quick definition of a number. Test yourself now. This is a quiz. What is a number? Stop. Don't answer that. Only John Horton Conway can answer that. And I will have a link to the video that you can view shortly before he died of COVID, where he goes into his thought processes that led to the surreal number system in Wikipedia, which we showed, although you can look it up right now. Wikipedia. You can find out what is a number from a Venn diagram. But on a Venn diagram, if you go out, there are supersets of numbers. You pass the reals 3 stages before the surreals. And once you get to the surreals, you're at the edge. You know why? Because John nailed it. John got it. John defined a number. And I am one of the only men who understood John Horton Conway's definition of a number. It nearly knocked me off of my feet when I discovered his system. Really for the second time, because I, like most mathematicians, did not realize what he had discovered the first time around. But then I forgot about what I had known of his work. He is one of my teachers. And I discovered the correct number system for the universe, a proportional two-number rational number system that solves for infinity and imaginarity. If you haven't turned this off by now yet, heaven seems to like you. It took about 2.5 millennia to get any definition of a number, because no one knew. Try it. Try it in your spare time. What is a number? You can put this on pause and think about it before I tell you. I'll give you the answer. Even your physicists don't know what I'm about to say, and they'll never accept it. So you may be ready to turn this off. If you don't understand what I'm about to say, you might as well turn it off. I don't solicit anything from you. I don't need you. I'm here because you need me. That's the way it is. I'm 70 and a third years old. So you're going to listen to this the way I present it and get what you need from it, or I'm sorry. And you can just guess at how sorry I am. You may report what is somewhat commonly reported, that defining what is a number will take upwards of a multi-clause paragraph to complete. It's not a simple answer. I find geometry to offer assist here. You will too, and you'll see why. Also, it will help to start with a definite number. Sometimes, when you are trying to define a class or some kind of type or object, you want to pick out an example which is going to be restrictive. But you need to do it because you need to give an example to get to kick-start the machine. Define what is a number. It will help to start by selecting, perhaps at random, just pick a number, any number. 12, a Googleplex, what number? We want one definite number just to start the machine. What is a number? We have to have this definition or you'll never understand the BH. Definite. What do we mean by definite? Just pick one. Well, I've picked one for you. It's the number 1. 1! Okay, goes like this. Ding. This is backwards, but let me try that again. This way, and then down, and then a bar. That's the number 1. You could say it's a digit. Let's not get confusing here. 1 is a number. Yes or no? Though mayhaps hard to get unanimity among them or those asked to give a definition of anything, it's rather difficult to get a definitional basis for a scientific assault on a problem as we're doing. What is a BH? Well, we know what a BB is, and they have something in common. A singularity. Which number is that? We're getting there. Here we do find a consensus. No disagreements. Is 1 a number? Yes. And that's 17 minutes. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. You won't want to miss this.